This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
We welcome you back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Yes, we are back when things are pretty relevant, and today we have some great guests coming in, so we'll talk more about them in a little bit. We do want to thank all our fine sponsors. Taco John's of Cheyenne with locations South Greeley Highway, Persian Ridge, Del Range and Ridge, downtown on KRAE Avenue, and on Yellowstone Road. And remember, with Taco John's, you can use the Taco John's app, and delivery is available. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Again, buy or lease your Kia two different ways. You can go online, KiaCheyenne.com, where they'll do the buy and leasing process for you, money down, monthly payments, et cetera, et cetera. Also, too, they will do a sight unseen appraisal for your trade-in. They'll give you Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. So, again, you can do it that way. Me, personally, I'm going to go onto the lot. I'm going to kick a few tires, take a test drive, and I'm going to get behind the wheel of a Soul or a Sorrento or a Forte, and then I'm going to sit down with the folks over there at Kia of Cheyenne, and I'm going to make my buying or leasing purchase. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way, where they're sanitizing hourly, and they got hand sanitizer available as well over on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank, two banking locations for you. You can find them at the corner of College and Pershing, and the original location on Vandehigh with convenient drive-thrus. If you need to see somebody in particular, give them a call at 778-0021. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Del Range right across from Powers Field and Menards. And remember, at Chick-fil-A, they again have two convenient drive-thrus for you. You can use the Chick-fil-A app for the curbside. And again, delicious eats, breakfast, lunch, and dinner served up Monday through Saturday at Chick-fil-A, where they're open now at 7 a.m. Medi-Cal Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Again, you can come inside to get your medications, or you can use the convenient drive-thru. Medi-Cal Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Bruce with the crew. Invite you to come into the left side where you can check out all the great appliances, GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, Maytag, also a great selection of televisions. On the right-hand door, that's the service area. Now, again, maybe you have, your filter for your water, fresh water that comes out. Maybe that's going bad. Well, guess what? You can get your filters there. If you need their repair service, they're available for you too. 638-6468 B&B Appliance and TV. Lennox Auto Body in the Auto Glass and Detail Center. They're back at it at 8 o'clock in the morning. Again, give them a call. Set up a time for them to take a look at your car or truck, maybe the damage that might be caused from our recent hailstorms, or you need the Auto Glass and Detail Center portion to take care of you over on Pershing Boulevard. Give Heather Lennox and the staff a call at 634-6608. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Tim and the crew, again, invite you to give them a call at 632-3500 if you need their services. And again, too, I do believe they are allowing some folks inside. So, again, check out what's going on at First Tier Bank, open Monday through Friday. And, again, they're still offering some fantastic CD rates. Mondello's Pizzeria is right across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Sweet Dean and Greenway Comments. Fifth decade now for Joe Mondello here in Cheyenne with his East Coast Paisan cuisine. And again, pizza, after all these years, still ranked number one in Wyoming, still ranked in the top 10 by the Food Network, folks. Again, along with his brother and his nephew. They do a marvelous job there. You can go right up to the takeout window or give them a call at 778-6068 for delicious pizza, whether you do the Sicilian pie, the gourmet pizza, or you just want a couple of slices. They'll take good care of you. Their breads are always freshly baked for those hot and cold Italian subs, steak subs as well. And again, remember, they have calzones and stromboli, their delicious pepperoni rolls, all good eating all the time. Again, Joe Mondello been around for a long time. He thanks you, and we thank Joe Mondello for the delicious Paisan cuisine that he brings to us all the time. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue. They open at 11 o'clock Monday through Saturday and at 12 noon on Sundays. And we will go to a scoreboard, which is being brought to you by our good friends at Pepsi of Cheyenne. We'll check in now with Nick.
Scoreboard as of right now, again, Cheyenne Post 6 in action. They were supposed to be at least in action about earlier today, about noon, but again, with the recent weather and just all the events, one team had to cancel, so now it's just a double hitter over at Powers Field with Cheyenne Post 6 right now in game number 1, taking on the Greeley Gojos, top of the 4th, where Sixers right now lead 5-0. So again, that's game number 1 happening right now at Powers Field. Game number 2 will be at least set to get underway at 4:30, again, happening over Powers Field. Cheyenne Post 6 playing host to the Greeley Gojo. So that's what's happening, at least as of today, for a Scoreboard here in the Cap City.
And our Scoreboard is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers.
The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you wanna do,
Here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
and get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year.
Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say,
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Do the do.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Wyoming Sports Talk today. You give me the look there. I'm also taking care of our dog over here, Oso.
all of a sudden, it's our dog.
It's the family dog, yeah.
It's my dog.
Yeah, but I end up taking. He's sitting on my headphones right now. Okay.
Well, again, there's a nice little harness that he has with a nice little at least kind of strap area.
He's right there.
Well,
he's mulling about here.
As I told you not to mess with him and get him all excited
I
earlier.
didn't do anything. He came over to me because he knows who takes good care of him.
Sure.
All right. We are back, and it is nice to be back with you.
Took last week off for
Well,
pretty
there were-
obvious reasons.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in the news. Matter of fact, sports got involved with the news with the tragic death to one George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, matter of fact, hockey was the only one that was really quiet. Baseball, football, and basketball all chimed in on the police brutality. We don't want to get political on it.
Hockey did a bit. Again, you had players like PK Subban that came out. Again, teams as well, too, did stand up. So, again, I wouldn't say NHL was completely quiet.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the more vocals came out of the likes of football, the NFL, and basketball. Major League Baseball started to chime in a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But baseball's got its own problems, which we'll tackle here in just a bit. We do want to mention on the show today, and we will get a chance to talk softball. Boy, women's fast pitches, we'll get a chance to talk with head coach Adam Galicia with the Extreme 18 and under team, and he will bring in Tyler Klein, an infielder, and then we'll talk to our good
How
friend.
about Taylor instead of Tyler?
I'm Taylor. And then we'll have a chance to talk with Pat Graham, Denver AP sports writers. We'll get an idea on what's happening with the NBA and the National Hockey League. And
Well, again, we know that if NBA or NHL does start back up, Avalanche will be in. Again, they'll be heading into their kind of postseason-esque style, again, as it was outlined by the NHL. I think they're in phase 2 out of 4 phases, but again, it was 24 teams out of the 31 selected to be a part of it. You had top 4 seeds out of the East and also 2 out of the West, at least conferences, to basically play in a round-robin, at least style tournament to decide who was kind of top seeds, and then all the rest of it was kind of a elimination-style format. So,
have we got a venue yet? Will they be able to play at the Pepsi Center, or is it going to be
it was selected, or at least it was down to select venues, whether it was at T-Mobile in Las Vegas. Again, Florida was tossed out there. Again, it doesn't look like it's going to be the Pepsi Center per se, but there were a wholesale amount of arenas that were going to be designated areas But again, nothing has been set in stone. Nothing is official. The only thing we do know is NBA is set to play at least
in Orlando.
In Orlando at that ESPN, at least Walt Disney World area. So again, where they're going to control all that and just play all those games there. And we now know that again, at least teams that did move on. Majority of them of Western Conference teams over the Eastern, they basically said, hey, we're basically taking the entire association. We're not doing normal playoffs. No, instead, hey, Eastern Conference teams where you normally would have made it into the playoffs or at least had a shot, no, you're not going to participate here. So they did kind of an interesting cutoff where it wasn't an even amount of teams in Western and Eastern conferences.
And again, too, with players that did not start at the beginning of the season, like Kevin Durant. And I said this to you, too, Nick, after last season with Durant injuring the Achilles, because we saw Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, come off an Achilles injury. And really, age caught up with Kobe as well, but never was the same player again. And I think with KD, I think this Achilles injury is going to really – it's going to be in the back of his mind first and foremost, because again, this is a very painful injury. It's just something you just don't overcome in a month and with some therapy. And again, too, his future is uncertain. Will he be in training camp? Possibly with the Nets. We know that Clay Thompson with the Warriors. He could play, but I think he's just going to kind of cool it for the rest of this, since the Warriors are not going to.
Well, again, the Warriors are not in. They're looking forward to the draft lottery at this point in time. But again, for NHL, for NBA,
and don't they have the first pick in the? Well, I mean, they would be one of the top picks in the draft lottery.
No, not necessarily. I think they had a 14% at least odds to be the number one pick again. It's draft lottery, so again, it's not a guarantee. We've seen wackier things happen. So, but. Again, regarding back at least to the games of the NBA and also to the NHL, right now it's still up in the air where, obviously we still are, again, in the age of COVID right now where it seems it's kind of taking a back burner where, you got all sorts of conflicting information right now about at least this whole pandemic at this point in time. But,
fans won't be in attendance.
And again, the leagues have basically said, hey, anything and everything can happen if it does spike up again, or if anything of health officials say, hey, no, it's not, appropriate, or again, players. We'll see if this even happens.
Well,
at this
it's
point.
interesting.
Again, it's right now you have phases for both leagues, for NBA and also to the NHL. Will games be played? Hopefully very soon. Hopefully, again, it's not a guarantee, though. That's the unfortunate thing.
But you notice that little troll, Anthony Fauci, we don't hear from him anymore. He's not even on the back pages. So, again, I hate to see that all of these games are going to be fanless. But then again, too,
I told you that from day one of this whole pandemic, that's a reality you got to face. And I think even it's going to extend to if MLB figures out, or at least pulls their heads out. I don't think they will. I don't think you're going to see baseball at all this season. I really don't think so. This is going to snowball into something a lot larger. And for NFL, I think NFL is also to a potential reality that you're not going to see fans, or if you do, it's going to be very limited. You're going to probably follow what you're probably seeing in the trend right now in college football. Again, we're seeing it even here in this state over in Laramie right now with War Memorial, where they're saying, hey, expect football games to have about a third full there at War Memorial. I think that's the same, or you're going to see something very similar in the NFL.
Well, the restart button here in Wyoming, let's keep it there and then we'll get back to baseball. The restart button in Wyoming is going to go into the next phase here coming up on Monday.
Again, the restart button, it feels like it's already, again, this whole pandemic really, it feels like, or if, again, you're out and about, feels like it has not existed. And again, going out and about, again, I went out to Bremer to go see Cheyenne Extreme play, where, again, you had multiple teams playing against each other at those fields. Again, solid packed crowds were pretty good out there. Some folks were kind of following some of the social distancing, but overall, it was pretty much in those stands.
Some folks at the Little League sitting out in the outfield, So.
Yeah, and again, it's not everyone, but again, it seemed like most folks went out, sat in the stands next to each other, and again, we're enjoying a game. Now, as we have an understanding here in this state of Wyoming where it's 250 people as a gathering, again, I've seen larger gatherings, or at least it seems like it teeters on that, but no one's really highly enforcing that number.
And again, like I said, we come into the next phase here on Monday. And matter of fact, I was talking to a couple of folks today that have operations here in town, and they're already anticipating, opening up more spaces for people to be welcome. So again, where the numbers are limited now, it looks like it's going to get more and more relaxed. That leads me into what you were talking about with sports, like at UW. Let's just say phase 2 of COVID-19 doesn't come about. Do we, by the time we get to late August and the early part of September, are fans going to be welcome back to the high school football scene? And again, I'm talking here in Wyoming. And again, we should be proud of ourselves here, because we are the ones that are carrying the banner that we have shown thus far that we can run Little League and Babe Ruth baseball, along with Cheyenne Extreme, as well as Post 6 baseball. We have shown the country that everybody can come on out and enjoy it. Nobody's coming down with COVID-19 at all of these facilities thus far. So
unless they're asymptomatic or something on that line. But again, it is.
Laramie County has not jumped up in numbers. Let's just start right there.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm driving at, though, when we get the football season, and again, you got to remember, these kids are going to be reporting to training camps coming up here about the mid part of August. So,
Again, we'll see. Obviously, that is up to the Activities Association. That's going to be up to, those school districts.
We're 60 days away. They better be getting down on this pretty quick.
Only time will tell, where nothing is a given at this point in time. Yes, we do have baseball. We have baseball and softball, and everything's going fine. Yes, again, it is not spiked out ridiculously as people were anticipating of something like this to happen once you kind of opened up the so-called floodgates. But again, will high school here in the state of Wyoming follow suit to what you're going to probably see in Laramie, or at least with college football and probably college athletics in general? Probably not. I would assume that East, Central, and South, just for example, here in Cheyenne, I think you're going to probably see Okie Blanchard, you're going to probably see Risky Field, probably you're going to see good amount of
fans.
Yeah.
I think so, because again, we're talking venues that hold 3,000-4,000 fans.
Because also too, again, not to per se call out the school districts, or at least these schools, but again, as we're understanding here in the state of Wyoming, hey, we're expecting a massive kind of economic at least hit by all of this, and that's going to probably trickle on down to the schools. And again, whether it's the JUCOs or now at least high schools, especially here in town and throughout the state of Wyoming, hey, that's kind of a little revenue generating opportunity right there. Again, you pay a couple bucks to go out, or again, with their NFHS, if you want to pay for that terrible service, go right ahead. But again, it's money that goes back into that school, whether it is Central, East, or South, or even Triumph, but on this side, or at least here locally in Cheyenne. But I think that it you wonder if it kind of forces those hands, though, for the athletic directors of saying, hey, we're expecting massive cuts, so instead to, and again, we're looking into adding a brand new sport coming up, softball. Mm-hmm. You got to find a budget where budgets were already tight for that, where if, now we're going into this kind of economic downturn here in the state of Wyoming, which, again, is going to trickle throughout the entire state. You wonder if hands kind of get forced of saying, hey, to not eliminate athletics in general, or at least take away track and field or golf or something like that. Hey, let's just basically say, hey, you come on out. If you feel sick, you stay home. If you're worried about coming out, here's your other options, whether it's watching with us or watching on the NFHS or something like that.
But also, too,
I think that's probably going to be the reality, and and I have no issue with it. I think that's what it should be, is basically leave it up to the individual, leave it up to the families. If you want to go out, go support those teams. If not, stay at home, and then there's other ways.
The budget shortfall expected over the next year or two is like about $1.2 billion. Monies for this year, for this upcoming school year, are already in place by this year's legislative session.
But again, what year after that, next year after that, and so on and so forth. Again, wouldn't it be an appropriate time, or at least something where you'd be a little proactive on that, saying, hey, this is a good at least revenue-generating opportunity where, again, home games for Central, East, and South, hey, let's get as much fans as we can, charge them that normal gate fee, and there you go. life as usual, so to speak.
Now let's go to the University of Wyoming, where again,
And again, for the UW, that's obviously something that's a little bit more out of their control. Again, NCAA as a governing body is going to also to outline of what they have to do. So before UW can go out and say, hey, we can open up the floodgates or allow everyone back in at least War Memorial Stadium, NCAA is going to have something to say about that. Again, we're looking, again, for example, you look on the JUCO side of things with the NJCAA, they've already allowed folks, or at least they're allowing coaches to go out and in-person recruit.
Right.
NCAA has not given that right yet, or at least has not said, hey, you can go right ahead. Now, they have allowed UW and a few other schools to come, at least have those athletes return back to campus and participate in spring and summer drills. But, again, it is up to the NCAA of what they decide on, of saying either it's all or nothing, or, hey, Mountain West schools, you can go 100%. Pac-12, Big Ten, maybe not so much. Texas schools, you might have to ease up, or, again, we'll see how that goes. But obviously, before UW gets into anything, the NCAA that governs over them, and I would think also, too, the Mountain West Conference as well, too, is another layer as well. That's going to have a lot to say before UW and Tom Berman has to say
and it's interesting, too, because in Larimer County, Fort Collins, as well as in Laramie, again, numbers are low of COVID itself, and deaths. But the thing is, too, at that Canvas Stadium, which holds, I think, obviously more than UW.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, if we're going to live in fear the rest of our life, then shut everything down. That's the way I feel. I mean, why even do it? Because what you're doing is you're doing it half-arsed. That's what you're doing it.
Well, I think with the protests and everything, again, that's a whole, obviously, topic that we're not going to go into. But, you know, of the massive crowds that we are seeing, right now at this point in time, COVID's kind of the last thing on a lot of people's minds, or at least a good majority at this point. Yeah, you might as well, at this point, again, across the entire nation, just basically 100% just go open. Just go open at this point. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, again, and again, like I said, that little troll Fauci, you know, he said, well, once it flatlines, well, it pretty much is flatlined across the U.S. It's flatlined. And again, in our state, we have very few cases that are being reported. You know, the ironic thing about COVID-19, and again, you would agree with me on this. Nobody likes to see anybody pass away. I mean, that's the terrible thing. But it's ironic, because I was talking to a few people about this too, where a lot of the deaths have been in retirement homes, old folks' homes. But you notice it hasn't happened like at our VA centers, our veteran centers. It's been in retirement homes. And again,
I don't know what your point is right now.
My point is, they've got some issues they need to take care of in these homes, because our VA center, our hospitals, everything's been fine. So again, what I'm looking at right now is that,
again, your point of
my point is the people that have passed away are elderly for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. Those that have had COVID basically were recovering real quick from it. And again, in our part of the world, we don't have the population, and we don't even have the numbers that are significant for COVID-19 right now. So I would hope that UW would be able to open up their gates in September.
And again, it's going to be layers before they ever figure that out. And again, to take it back to probably to at least high school. Obviously, high school has to deal with that the same way here in the city of Cheyenne, throughout the state of Wyoming, where it's going to be up to probably the Activities Association, then the school district, and also to
you got to get the health department.
Health department as well too. Again, we saw where the rest of the state was, on a somewhat, at least, restriction early on in this thing, but you saw Jackson Hole, and again, Teton County basically closed down completely. They were the only one county in this state that said, "Hey, we're going to do something a little bit more drastic than the rest of the state." Could that go forward? Of, hey, Sheridan sees a spike. Hey, Sheridan High School is going to sit this one out, or they're not going to allow fans up there to watch Bronx football this upcoming fall. Well, again. Only time will tell. That is the phrase right now.
Here's where I'm at with this, and I leave it at this. Either you do it all the way, don't do it half-arsed.
Yeah.
Or do away with it altogether, because all you're doing this is not even it's not even the routine, and again, we've been taken out of our routine by, again, some little troll who's never even looked at a patient in his life. Again, they're out looking at vaccines and this, that, and the other thing. But the thing is, we've been fine in this part of the world. Larimer County, which has over 500,000 people, they have been fine. So tell me what's going on around here.
Again, you have the other major cities in the U.S. that are taking more spotlight attention of the Chicagos of the world, LAs of the world, New York City, obviously. But
would you want to live there? Would you want to live on top of each other in New York?
No.
Yeah, and again, at least here we're in the wide open spaces where even if COVID's in the air,
what you're talking about again, where it's obviously up to the state. And again, will our state allow, especially?
I think our state.
So college is a little difficult on that. We know that with UW, but again, on the high school level, again, it's up to the state. And our state has been, one of the first of basically saying, "Hey, let's welcome everyone back. Let's get sports underway." And I feel confident that yes, high school football is going to happen. Will there be fans in those stands? Absolutely, I think so. But again, it might be a case by case basis of, does Star Valley say, "Hey, folks, stay away"? Hey, does Jackson Hole, or at least Jackson, say, "Hey, stay away"? But Casper's cool with it. Cheyenne says, "Hey, we're cool with it." Gillette says we're cool with it. You might see that as a possibility.
You got to have total unity on all of this. You can't go again. You can't do this half-arsed. You got to go.
I think you can.
No, I disagree. I disagree with that.
As long as, again, there's games being played, I don't think, because, again, we saw that here on the baseball side of things. And, again, you're kind of contradicting your own argument of saying it's not. Because, again, we've seen that on American Legion where, hey, rest of the state, or at least you saw in Casper, you saw in Gillette, hey, fans can attend these games. Cheyenne was a little behind the times.
Yeah, we were behind the times.
And then eventually kind of forced their hands to say, hey, let's just get fans back in.
And what did we do? We did it half-arsed. So I'm just telling you right now, and again, with our state epidemiologist, she needs to pull her head out and, again, quit mouthing the things that Anthony Fauci says, because we're different here in Wyoming. All right, we need to take a timeout. We're going to come back with our first guest. He is the head coach of the Extreme 18 and Under team, Adam Galicia, and we're back after this right here on 1480 KRAE.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football.
You're looking for fun and adventure.
This is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
When you are dealing with the coin shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The Coin Shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
This is the time of year you will see motorcycles riding around town and on the highways. All motorists are reminded to safely share the road with motorcycles and bicyclists and to be on the alert to keep these riders from harm. These could be your neighbors, your friend, or someone's mother or father. Motorcycles and bikes are cautioned to make themselves visible to other motorists. When you come to a stop, always look left and right before proceeding. This will help prevent an avoidable accident and will keep everyone safe. To all drivers on Wyoming roads, be mindful and vigilant. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 59 and winds out of the northwest at 30 to 35 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 38 and winds out of the northwest at 20 to 25 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it'll be sunny with highs around 70, and on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 43.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk. Today we get to talk to the skipper of the 18 and under Cheyenne Extreme, Adam Galicia, joining us. And Coach, first, it's nice to have you back in studio with us as we had a chance to chat with you face-to-face. As I get into our conversation, and again, I've been looking at the scores of the games, and first and foremost, games being played is excellent news to hear. But are you seeing the ring rust still as the young ladies are just forming into the Cheyenne Extreme 18 and under?
Yeah, when we went up and played in Gillette a couple weeks ago, that's one thing we were kind of concerned with, just the fact that you can practice all you want. The girls were looking good, strong at practice, just killing the ball. Defensively we were looking strong, and I told the girls, we're not game ready, but we were ready to play a game. They were just dying to get back on the field, and so it was kind of a concern. But we have the talent level of our team this year is that good that it took a game or two for them to settle in, but everything started clicking again, and we still got a ways to go, but they're definitely playing ball at a high level.
If we were kidding off air, and again, I've attended a few at least Cheyenne Extreme games happening here in town, whether it's at Commerce or Bremer, where you got teams coming up from Colorado, or at least from kind of the locale area, coming to play Cheyenne Extreme and playing other teams in kind of just round robin fashion at these venues over the past couple of weekends. Where in the past, we were kind of desperate to get teams. They did not want to come up to Cheyenne. It took a pandemic to now get teams to come up here, but. Kidding aside, though, Coach, I mean, having this opportunity, showcasing off what Cheyenne offers for fields, whether it is Bremer, what we saw the past weekend, Converse, the weekend before, all of that, for a lot of these Colorado teams, that's obviously you got to do you good for kind of 2021, 2022, or just kind of those future schedules for those teams to come back up and participate in any weekend tournament up here.
Oh, yeah. We've been getting a lot of compliments from the teams that have been coming, and they like the quality of ball that we play, and we've been getting a high level competition coming into Cheyenne that we've never had been able to get here before. And our complexes are pretty decent, and so I hope that does lay the groundwork to get more teams to come up in the future, because it's crazy how I've told you guys before. People think traveling up from Loveland to Cheyenne is like a 2-hour drive, and it's like I can be to your fields in 55 minutes from my house,
It might as well be when it snows out this part of the world.
It's interesting, too, especially with the Colorado teams coming up here. they're jumping at the chance because in addition to playing a game, also too they get that opportunity at least to practice because fields are not as open down there as it is at least here in Cheyenne right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, we got Colorado teams that are traveling up to Gillette right now to play games up there. One of the teams that came up this Saturday, the Prodigy, he's actually hosting a tournament up in Gillette. He reserved their complex, and he's got I can't remember how many teams, but he's got a ton of teams from Colorado that are traveling all the way up to Gillette to play softball.
Any restrictions regarding those Colorado teams as of right now? Do they have to, again, just play like a weekend and then they have to take like a weekend off? Or is there any restrictions at all for any teams right now?
There is not any restrictions, for any teams coming to Wyoming to play right now, unless they have their own personal, like I do with my job or something like that, for them to come other than, follow the local guidances, as far as social distancing and just the different protocols they want you to follow during the games. But, it's pretty wide open.
Something we talked with at least Cheyenne Post 6 for American Legion with Ty Lane of basically saying, hey, baseball here in the state of Wyoming, especially with Cheyenne Post 6, they were basically saying, hey, we were one of the first teams, again, just not even on professional to amateur. Hey, we were one of the first baseball teams to get in action in the entire U.S. during this whole pandemic. Basically what I'm going to ask you, coaches, were all eyes on the state of Wyoming? Was the state of Wyoming Cheyenne Extreme part of kind of history, groundbreaking moments of being one of the first softball teams competing here across the entire U.S.?
Not necessarily Cheyenne Extreme, but definitely softball in Wyoming. Like I said, just the fact that they were able to host a tournament up at Gillette. We were able to do a lot of the things that we're doing here in Cheyenne now with the round robin type scenarios that you were talking about. They're definitely using us as an example when all these different organizations are talking to their local, mayors, just their local government to try to get permissions, getting their waivers, their medical people to play, and they're saying, look what they're doing here. We can do the same thing. So they're definitely using Wyoming as part of their fight to be able to get on the field.
Is that also too beneficial, again, as we look, granted, you still got a whole season to complete here in 2020, but again, for future years of 21, 22, where, again, you're saying all eyes are out here in this part of the world right now and looking at what you guys are doing to kind of set an example for softball, but, does that also too open up opportunities for scouts or for recruiting? I mean, how big is this opportunity right now that we are one of the few actually in competition right now?
It's actually was a big thing. I didn't tell the girls because sometimes they get a little nervous. But just going into this Saturday's games, I had 5 different junior colleges coaches get a hold of me on Thursday and Friday and to let me know they were going to come up and just take a look because we had the level of competition that we had there. Not necessarily just at our team, but all the girls that were there. So also I've had a number of coaches contact me now also because of their pockets aren't so deep to travel to go to different places. Now they're looking for more local tournaments to go to. So as of right now, I'm thinking we're going to have anywhere from 5 to 10 different colleges in attendance at our Extreme Weekend tournament. So it has definitely been a benefit that way for us.
Coach, it's been very pleasing for me to drive by Converse and see the parking lot full. And I'm sure from the young lady standpoint, as well as the coaching staff, families, it has to be nice to look up into the stands and see people are being allowed back into the complexes to watch the young ladies play. I don't know what you had said to them prior to the season getting started, but it seems like we're seeing a lot more relaxation of I'm going to use the word restrictions, where everybody now is just about ready to, the restart button's been pushed and we're ready to go, forward, full speed ahead.
Yeah, we've definitely, I'll tell you, our parents have been great. All the parents that I've seen around the complexes have been doing a great job of not getting too crazy. Obviously it's hard to follow guidelines every second, every minute, but for the most part they've done pretty well. And everybody's just excited to continue to play. You'll see a lot of the outfields are all lined up with families. Just going around Saturday, holy cow! Even Sunday, every field you could see in Cheyenne was full of baseball or softball, and it was just neat to see. You don't see that often in Cheyenne, where every single field has somebody on it.
So as we, again, at least kind of compare where we're, at least with the Cheyenne Post 6, and we'll talk with Ty Lane and another Post 6er coming up tomorrow on this show, but, their schedule kind of fluctuates, or at least talking with Ty, hey, when opportunities are available, hey, we're going to take it. Like, for instance, they will be heading up to Twin Falls, Idaho. They got at least a couple of games up in Montana. Is that kind of the same situation right now for the Extreme, that it's kind of nothing is set in stone. Everything's kind of a fluid, day by day, go as you can situation.
Yeah, it's very fluid right now. I mean, it's literally, I got a possible doubleheader for Thursday night, this coming Thursday, but it's literally going to be probably tomorrow evening before I know whether they're really coming or not. We're trying to set up a quad for Sunday afternoon. I have teams that have shown interest, but with things starting to open up, they're also looking at, hey, can I go play a tournament here? Can I go play a tournament there? So it's literally going to be probably Friday afternoon before I know about our quad for Sunday afternoon. It may just be a 3-team round robin. With all the high school graduations happening this weekend, it kind of obviously limited our travel, limited the amount of players we have to go play. I would have loved to go play up in Gillette again this weekend. It's going to be a great tournament. It's definitely, like you said, a fluid schedule. I mean,
well, again, you're also too at least set in stone with kind of restrictions as well too. Again, when we last talked with you, again, you weren't allowed to leave kind of a boundary limit to at least what your work kind of requires. Right. So, are you still kind of at least stuck with that, or has that changed?
As of right now, till hopefully that's changing here in the next couple days. But as of right now, I have a travel restriction through the end of the month. We've been on 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So that part, as far as the work schedule, that everybody's back in full force this coming Monday. So our jobs, our work hours, is going to go back to normal operations. So I'm hoping the travel goes back to normal at that same time. We're still trying to get clarification on that, but that just all contributes to everything, but like you said, the schedule is fluid. I mean, I wish I could say, hey, we got these 19 games left, 20 games left, and these are the dates, these are the times, but it's literally as we're going.
Last time we chatted with you, and again, that was on Skype, finances were a big concern for the Extreme. By playing these games, and again, too, I know the young ladies' families would chip in to defray a lot of the costs, but are the financials getting back to a comfortable state for the Extreme program?
To be honest, we're actually in a pretty decent place. Just because of all the tournament cancellations. I mean, with 5 teams, you're looking at spending, $3,000 a weekend just in tournament fees, where nobody's been able to, other than us playing a tournament, nobody's been able to play any. So between all our 5 age groups, we've probably canceled out of, well over 20 tournaments now combined. So all that money's come back to Extreme now. So as far as an organization, we're sitting okay. We're doing well.
Adam, you and I, obviously I'm a little older than you, but again, we've seen a lot in our lifetime, and nothing like this. How do you, as the elder spokesman, so to speak, of the Extreme, how do you express the excitement still to these young ladies, not to worry about what's going on in the world? Let's get out and do our business.
The one thing I talk to the girls about all the time is, there's always things going on in the world. You got jobs, you got your schoolwork, you got even family things that are going on. And I always try to present to them that once we come through the gates, once we come to the field, this is where you forget about everything that's going on outside the field. You come here, we come together as a team. We become one. We're just one big family out there, and give, dedicate all your time to those that are with you on the field. And so the girls, they've been done a pretty good job. Like I said, they were anxious to get back out there. They've been working hard. It showed in their play. I mean, they're playing hard. We have some moments we don't do so well, but that's baseball, that's softball. I mean, but overall they're playing at a high level. They really are, and so I'm pretty proud of everything they've done so far.
Final thought from me, and we definitely want to bring in one of your players, Taylor Klein, who'll be joining us here in just a minute. But as you look at your team right now, and again, you're putting different pieces in place and giving everybody that opportunity. Right now, strong suit, and what you need to work on?
So right now we're, I honestly, I thought we were going to be a little bit stronger on offense. We're in a good place. We're okay. But we got a couple players we need to get a couple things tweaked and get them back on track, on the right track. Defensively, I mean, pitching, we're pretty solid in our pitching. Catchers are very solid at our catching. Got a couple things to work on defense, and that's just because we got two or three different new players. So we're still kind of figuring that out. But overall, we're playing pretty solid, honestly, across the board. We're playing pretty good.
Adam Galicia, Extreme 18 and Under head coach, joining us here in 1480 KRAE. We're back after this timeout.
Would you rather walk across hot coals or have poison ivy everywhere? Some choices are a lose-lose, but it's all win-win at Taco John's. Choose 3 chicken street tacos or 3 chicken soft-shell tacos for just $5. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Our drive-thru is still open. Swing by for all your Taco John's favorites for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or order delivery from participating locations with the Taco John's app. At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne.
Have you tried Digital Wallet from Platte Valley Bank? Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay and have the ability to purchase with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today for a contactless way to pay.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
All you good folks in Laramie and Goshen counties, listen up, please. Cheyenne Urological is now operating a satellite clinic in Torrington at 524 College Drive. Yes, top quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence will now be provided by the highly trained staff of Cheyenne Urological in Torrington. So save yourself a trip and take advantage of the same wisdom, compassion, and expertise that served Cheyenne for over 30 years. Call Cheyenne Urological at 307-635-4131. For almost 30 years, I've had the pleasure to talk about Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. Hi, this is Larry Proetti with an invitation to bring your vehicle into cars for service and minor repairs that are done with precision and care. Now, I've known John and his staff for a long time, and when it comes to tune-ups, replacing shocks, fixing fuel pumps, replacing timing chains, working on heating and air conditioning units, or even just a good old-fashioned oil change, I only trust my car when it comes to service to be under the care of Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. They are a TechNet professional, where their work is covered by a nationwide limited repair warranty that extends across North America for 24 months or 24,000 miles, whichever comes first. For more information, check out technetprofessional.com on the World Wide Web. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service always goes one step above the rest when it comes to the care of your vehicle. 604 West Lincoln Way in Cheyenne, open Monday through Friday. Call and set up an appointment at 632-0498. Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Del Range across from Powers Field is a proud sponsor of our high school and LCCC student athletes. Chick-fil-A always offers 2 convenient drive-thru lanes to pick up your order if you are on the go. Plus, they have an excellent dining room for the whole family. And remember to order ahead. Use the Chick-fil-A app on your phone. Stop into Chick-fil-A today, open Monday through Saturday, where you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your home for the real chicken sandwich taste. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 59 and winds out of the northwest at 30 to 35 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 38 and winds out of the northwest at 20 to 25 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it'll be sunny with highs around 70, and on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 43.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today as we bring on one of the extreme softball players, and we also get a chance to salute her, class of 2020. She hails from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. So quite the little haul here to Cheyenne, like we had some youngsters last year from Torrington making a long drive.
We also do want to point out that it is her first year, her only year, as you might want to go get the dog, as she, at least the dog.
The dog acts like its owner.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. But either way, though, with Taylor, though, she is. This is her first season with the Cheyenne Extreme, her only season with the Cheyenne Extreme. Again, with obviously the pandemic happening on. Again, next season we'll be heading down to Otero Junior College, so La Junta, Colorado, to continue playing softball. So again, thanks for coming on in. And again, we'll get your background, Taylor. We'll start on the softball side of things. Give us kind of the origin of how you got into softball. What attracted you to play this sport?
I started when I was about 4 years old playing T-ball at the 23 club in Scottsbluff, and I don't know, it's just been something I've always enjoyed. It's just fun, and you can like play loose. And
any other athletics outside of softball that you competed in?
In high school, I also played tennis.
So basically, why'd you stick with softball? What kind of attracted you to continue playing through it? And again, now continue at least kind of the next level on the JUCO side of things.
It's always just been something that I've always enjoyed. It makes me it's something I can always push myself in, and something that's always made me happy.
Taylor, how did you hear about the Extreme?
I've played against them growing up, and they've always been a more competitive, higher level competitive team. So that's kind of what made me want to come.
So you're a shortstop, and again, that's where all the action happens, especially in women's fast pitch. But real quick, talk about you and your teammates right now. And again, you're all from different places. You know, some are from here in Cheyenne, but again, some from out of town. How do you guys? How are you feeling about how the team is starting to gel now?
I thought it was actually pretty easy just coming. I was a little nervous. I knew the Torrington girls because I used to play with them. But I was a little nervous, but everyone was really welcoming and nice, and we all just get along really well now.
So again, it's your first season with the Cheyenne Extreme, as again, you can't get control of the puppy over there, so apologies for that. But at least for you, Taylor, again, you said you know about the Cheyenne Extreme. You played against the Cheyenne Extreme. Again, you're from Scottsbluff. Did Scottsbluff have a softball team going on right now, or kind of give us background of how you got to the Cheyenne Extreme?
So yeah, Scottsbluff has a traveling team. Right now, they're the Bombers. They're just starting their season now. They got the clearance, and going to play college now. I wanted to play at a higher level of competition because I would be playing at a higher level in college, and I knew that it was close kind of to Scottsbluff, so I thought I'd try out for the team, and that's how I got up here.
Again, as we've talked with other athletes, again, during this time, or at least kind of baseballers with Cheyenne Post 6, and now getting the softball side of things, where, again, kind of on that same pace of being able to play, where, you know, was there a point in time in your thought process, again, seeing how the pandemic was kind of happening across the nation, did you ever think that, hey, you were going to play softball this season, or did you kind of feel confident that, yeah, you might get some games in?
Yeah, for sure. Towards the beginning, when everything was shutting down and how nothing was really opening up, I really at one point thought I wasn't going to get much games, if any, in. So getting some games in now, I'm so happy. It's really nice.
So how'd you, during that time, before we got into action with the Cheyenne Extreme, how'd you keep at least kind of in playing shape? Did you, again, go out to, you know, a couple fields, hit some balls? I mean, how'd you kind of keep in shape to get ready for those potential games?
My mom would go out and hit me ground balls, and I'd practice fielding and working on my fundamentals out on a softball field, and then I'd hit to the bow net at my house and just work T-work.
One of the nice things is that you get a chance to move on after Extreme and with high school, and you talk about a day and night move. You're going to be heading to La Junta, Colorado, to become a Lady Rattler at Otero. Tell us a little bit how that all came about, how you got a scholarship to go down to play ball at Otero, JC, and congratulations, too.
Thank you. I know I've always wanted to continue playing college softball, so my junior year, I went and visited a lot of colleges, talked with a lot of coaches, went to a lot of showcases, and I actually met him when I was a freshman at a showcase, and I just remembered him in the back of my mind. I really enjoyed how he was able to coach us during a game, and I enjoyed his coaching style and everything like that. And so when it got to junior year, I reached out to him through email, and he invited me down to watch a doubleheader and just watch some games, and I absolutely loved it there. Just that feeling of home, and like I just love the energy and everything there. And so he offered me, and I just knew like that's where I wanted to end up.
So thankfully, right now, again, college is set for you. You got the scholarship. You know where you're going, so you don't have to worry about this, at least that this summer right now. So with the Cheyenne Extreme, what are kind of goals in mind for this season? Again, for however many games or where it kind of leads to before you head down to La Junta to get ready for JUCO college. What was kind of your focus for this season? What do you want to accomplish? What are your goals for this season?
I just want to be able to work on my skills at a higher level, something I've been exposed to, but we're playing some solid teams all around. Like last week, and we played like in that little 4 games, we played some solid teams, and just being able to confirm for myself that I can play at a higher level, and just getting the experiences and working with the coaches on fine-tuning a little bit before I head off to college.
Taylor, it's a family affair that coaches the Cheyenne Extreme. So tell us a little bit you don't know everything when you play in high school and then you move on to, a travel team such as Extreme. Some of the things that you've learned from the Galicias.
Right now we've been just working on a lot of staying back while I'm hitting, because I tend to lean forward, and that I lose a lot of power when I do that. So we've been working on that a lot lately, and that's helped my performance.